Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Happy Devils Sunday. We're back after a layoff, but we actually continued our regularly scheduled program. I am your host, Sam Wu, here with Scotty in LA. The title of the podcast of season 3, episode 26 is Nico: NHL Star is born. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. I don't know where we should start, Scotty. You know, this podcast. And I know that you guys at SiriusXM Liquid Metal XL, you guys are organized, you know, format's great, but a lot of news stories going on. Number one, you know, I'd rather address this because I know we're a hockey podcast, but that's some tragic news in LA that came over, I guess, TMZ around 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. Him and his daughter and you know, several other people did not survive. Scotty, you're out in LA. Your phone was blowing up. You know, just describe just a little bit, like, you know, what's it like out there on the West Coast right now?
Well, I mean, you know, people are. I didn't grow up out here, so I don't have like all that history of Kobe. And I'm not gonna lie and say I'm the biggest NBA fan. I'm more of an on the top basketball fan because, you know, come on, the Knicks and Nets. Oof, there's been trouble there for quite some time. So, but you know, he was a dynamic figure like in this town. Kobe is kind of like, you know, Derek Jeter or David Wright kind of deal, you know, where like everyone in town knows who he is, you know, and he won those championships and scored a hell of a lot of points. And that's the crazy thing too, is LeBron just passed him last night, I think, for, you know, LeBron's now third, I think, all-time scoring. Yeah. So
Philadelphia.
yeah, so it's just one of those crazy things, and yeah, it's nuts, man. It's been all over the news all day today, obviously, and I thought it was a false report when it first came out, but sure enough, man, it sucks, and I just feel terrible for his wife and family, and it's just a crazy, tragic situation.
Yeah,
Sorry, my dog is barking.
Oh no, we are a pet-friendly podcast. All right, so it's all good, all good. Yeah. So I'll just add just a little bit my thoughts. People, life is very short and precious, and I mean we'll talk about a little bit about our producer Melissa Dawn, just quite a little bit, but Kobe's only 2 weeks older than I am. Grew up 90 minutes away from my house, a lower or upper Marion, I forgot which. When I went to Penn State, she just seemed like everybody from Pennsylvania, from Philadelphia regions, they all knew him. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny how everybody knew Kobe. They played at the same playground as Kobe. But I guess my fondest moment was when I cut class in high school, senior year, to go see the Knicks Lakers, and I was on the floor, and that was Kobe's first game at Madison Square Garden. Del Harris was the coach. Shaquille O'Neal went there. The Knicks went on a free agent frenzy. Chris Childs and Allen Houston, whatever, and Patrick Ewing and whatever. But I was actually selected to do an interview on the NBA floor that game, and I was next to the Lakers bench and just watching Kobe and Shaq like walk right next to you, when they're during warmups was pretty cool. But the point is, life is very, very, very short, and again, we talk about that all the time, and we. Now I'm going to transition to this, on our podcast. Beer Baron, was from day one. Family and health comes first before we do this podcast, and it's true meaning because, the Devils community, we always, come, together at a time of need. And I am very, very humbled by the donations that went out last Wednesday and throughout the week. Cheryl Miller, you're one of them. I caught that. Grant Marshall, thank you. For our esteemed producer of the Let's Go Devils podcast, Melissa Dawn, who just, behind the scenes, she does everything for the podcast. She doesn't get credit for it. We mentioned her on the podcast, right, Scotty? She booked us Cam Jansen last, out of nowhere last week, and
you can always find her in the Facebook chat too. She's always hanging out over there as well.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, she's been on our minds, because it was on Monday when they had the house fire. If those that don't know that, Melissa and her family, had to go through a house fire, and she went to the hospital for a few days, smoke inhalation, all that, stuff that comes with that kind of thing. And, I hadn't talked to her in a couple of days, but we are raising money to her family's GoFundMe page. So, I'll post a link a little bit later. I made a donation today just to get things started so people didn't think we weren't donating. But the podcast, Let's Go Devils podcast, we haven't really talked about it. We haven't been able to because of our schedules, but we're definitely going to make donations throughout this week to keep that thing going. Right now, last I checked, it was 3,800 raised, and I see a lot of people that are her friends, but also members of our Let's Go Devils podcast Facebook page, names that I recognize. Thank you very much. And, we will always keep you updated. And also on her GoFundMe page, there is an update that she did a few days ago. But again, just remember, folks, she's going through a tough time. It's hard to, for her to keep up with all the well wishes. But we will keep you informed as we know it. But anyway, hate to start off a podcast like this, Scotty, but
Mhm.
I guess this is good. It's hard to transition, so let's transition to
Hey,
NHL
it's life,
All
man.
Star. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
sometimes that's how it goes. And like you were saying, though, it's good. Cherish the moments and just remember, with someone like Kobe and stuff like that. We have a lot of stuff captured. And with Melissa, really thank you for everyone that is donating. I'm going to make my donations because Sam, I was talking to you about.
yep,
I've been kind of out of commission all week with Grammys going on out here in
yep.
LA. I'm going to donate as soon as the show is over. I'm not going to do it now and get distracted, but I'm going to do it as soon as the show's over. We're going to discuss more. And if you have the actual link or the URL for it, like let's put that up at some point.
Yep.
For the people.
Thank you, Scotty. So, all right. So let's transition off. I'll put the link up as soon as I can. It's hard to multitask with this.
I know. That's why I said I'm going to donate afterwards. Well, you know what? Let's talk about the All Star game a little bit that went on over the weekend in St. Louis. We were talking to Cam Jansen right here on this podcast last week about everything that was going on, and I gotta say, I was a pretty big fan. I saw a bunch of the stuff happening, out here on the West Coast a little bit earlier going on. So I saw, dude, that new skills competition with the shooting stars where they're shooting from the kind of like the top of the lower tier. I thought that was cool. I really was, watching each shot. Like it was pretty cool to see those guys, the accuracy, how far they could shoot it. I thought they did a really good job bringing out all the legends. The stupid mascot game is funny. Like it's funny. I enjoyed seeing little bits of that as well.
And J Devil missing an open net.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of that, and it was just like I forgot who put it. I don't know if Barstools did or wherever they put it up. It's like how the Devil season has gone. He just totally wiped out. It kind of reminded me of that play, if you remember, back in 06 or 07. I think it was Dallas and Edmonton, and Dallas had an open netter just like that to seal the deal, but they turned it over, and then with 5 seconds left, they scored. to tie the game and then eventually win, that kind of thing. That's what it kind of reminded me.
But I enjoyed it, man. I thought a lot of the stuff was fun. I thought it was exciting. I liked the new aspect of it. And by the way, we want to say hi to everyone up there on the Facebook page, Matt and Jeffrey and Stacy and Cheryl, Mike and JD. Matt, there you go. All right, sweet.
You hear JD?
But hey, sorry. Do you remember back in the day for the skills competition? I know they do the the breakaway now, but do you remember when they used to do a 2-on-1 for the goalies to show off like their skills? That is the one thing I wish they would bring back. I remember Mr. Martin Brodeur like putting on a show on some of those 2-on-1s. I mean, the breakaways are cool, but just hey, what's up? Where'd you go? Are you leaving me, Sam Wu? Oh, there he is.
I went to cough.
Oh, gotcha.
I've been battling this cold because this colleague of mine decided 2 weeks ago to show up to work with pneumonia and didn't tell me. And I've been battling this cold but since I control the board, I could just go right to you and I could cough, sneeze, go to the bathroom.
You can see my giant air conditioner right next to me where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to find a new spot. Once summertime comes, I'm going to have to find a new spot or else it's going to be very, very distracting. But anyway, I'm a big fan of what they did this year in the skills competition. I know a lot of people were hating on the electronic accuracy things. I didn't really care. It seemed fine. It seemed quirky. I liked a little bit, that's the one thing though. If they take what they have and replace the breakaway with the 2-on-1, I think you got something really good there. But I thought they did a really good job with the skills competition and the game in general. I'd like to say our man Nico Hischier looked really good in the game, scoring 2 goals. They were, I mean, couldn't miss one. I mean, probably couldn't miss both of them, but I mean, still, right place, right time, working with some big name people, looked really nice. And not only did he look good on the ice, he looked really good in the media and the press room, handling all the questions, handling the fans, taking pictures, being on social media. Perhaps the work of a future captain. He did a very good job handling himself at the media day. And I'm just, being, having fun saying the captain stuff, but still, I'll avoid that. I'll just say a leader of the team, and face for the franchise. It doesn't have to be the captain to be the face of the franchise, But Nico is really, I thought, handled himself well with the press, with the media, and everything that I was seeing on Instagram over the weekend. Was Nico. A lot of fan pictures and stuff like that. So really, commendable job to him representing the New Jersey Devils at the All Star game.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it has been a privilege and a pleasure to see his development this year, the first half of the year. I think it was a little bit unexpected because our expectations was more towards Jack Hughes, PK Subban, Gusev, but there's one leader, and we were all talking about Taylor Hall and re-signing, and even when the games were out of hand, 6-0, 7-0, Nico Hischier was still playing hard. And he has that quiet way about him, like Jonathan Taves, a young Jonathan Taves, and centerman, first overall pick. I just cannot wait to see what he does in the second half of the season and just build on that, because that kind of leadership is Scott Steven-esque in some respects, where he doesn't have to do much talking. Yeah, it gets results. He gets results, and once a team is built around him and they start having success, you will see that kind of impact on the opposing team to have somebody like Nico Hischier. So that's my assessment.
Well, I think that's also kind of a perfect segue into, what, as we start this quote unquote second half of the hockey season, the post, All-Star break. What do we have? 32, 34 games left. It's not really the halfway point. We already crossed that. So however many games we have left, I think it's 32 or 34, somewhere in that range, 36. What are the expectations for this team moving forward? And, cool. I see it right there. Sam Wu, producer extraordinaire. Hey, everybody, like we were talking about a little earlier, the GoFundMe, Sam Wu has posted that in the Facebook chat, the link up there. So please go ahead and check that out if you want to help out a really good cause.
By the way, I got to address JD. JD's in the group.
Okay.
A little birdie told me that JD's throwing a big party and he wants the podcast to be there in the backyard.
Be there in the backyard. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, we've always said on this podcast, Scotty, that we're open to bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, sweet 16s, graduation parties,
bachelorette parties.
Yes. Bachelor parties too, have a guy's night out.
Okay, all right. Okay, I see where you're going there.
They get crazy. We'll stay for the after party.
I was thinking a different angle.
Yeah. Right. We're also available for corporate events. New Jersey Devils, I know you have a lot of them. hey, how about a fan podcast at your corporate event, right?
Catered
So
podcast.
yeah,
Catered podcast. Yeah.
yeah. So JD, I'll talk to Todd. We'll have to figure the logistics out. But yeah, we're interested. We just got to find a date to go to your barbecue, huge podcast party. I heard it's somewhere in beautiful New Jersey, so that's great. So it's local, whatever. Also, Scotty, we have to talk about.
Are they flying me in? Are they flying me in, or am I just
You know what?
hitching a ride? Hitching a ride, JD. Is that what's going on?
You know what? Buddy talks.
Am I Billy Joe from Green Day over here? I'm just hitching a ride. Huh?
Yeah. So also we do have to. Boy, we're off the tangent. But the guy from New Zealand asked us. He said he's coming over to the States on the West Coast, and he asked me, are we throwing a live event when the Devils are in LA? And I was like, dude, we don't even have our private jet yet, our $35 million private jet. So, but Scotty, I got to get you hooked up with him because he does, he would love to meet you since you're out on the West Coast, or meet anybody. And since we can't be out there, but we will be down in Florida, Winnie. March 14th and 15th. We're still trying to get the details outside the arena in Sunrise, BP&T. Now, that's going to be the site of the NHL All Star game in 2021. I'm already about to book my hotel, get our credentials, and the Let's Go Devils podcast will broadcast from there. How about that?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I wonder if I could get some. I can ask some of my friends. I wonder if I could get some access when they come to the Staples Center when they play the Kings.
I bet you can.
If I can pull some connections.
Yeah.
Oh, JD, that's between you and Sam. Oh man.
What'd you talk about, Willis?
The old plane ticket from LA back to
okay.
EWR Newark.
Budget. But first things first, JD, we got to raise $10,000 in all seriousness for Melissa's GoFundMe. That's our goal right now. We've suspended all the jokes about the $35 million jet. That's more important right now. Oops, I'm actually looking at her screen. I should be looking at the camera, right? So that's what we're going to be doing right now, JD. So, but we'll definitely figure it out.
All right.
So, Devils, they start back up tomorrow in Ottawa.
Oh yeah. So, before we got sidetracked there, we were talking about coming out of the All Star game. Nico, we've been talking for a couple weeks now, right here on this podcast, about him growing up and maturing before our eyes. So I thought it might be a good time to just go down the checklist of a couple guys. And is Sam Wu coughing again? Sam Wu's coughing again.
Yeah, you got to take over for about a minute. So.
Oh, I got to take over for a minute? Okay.
Fly solo. Pretend like you're at the Sirius XM Liquid Metal Studios.
Fly, little birdie, fly. Okay. So what I was thinking is, now that I don't have anyone to throw this off against, because Sam Wu and Beer Baron and Shorts Guy aren't here, so I'll turn it out to the podcast to see Eric's in there now. David Decker. What's up, everybody? So what are the expectations for the team in this so-called second half post All-Star break amount of time that we have left in the season? So for Nico Hischier, who we've been talking about, has been developing and, growing his game. Right now, he sits at 29 points. Okay. 12 goals, 17 assists. I think it would be nice if by the end of the season, Nico Hischier is somewhere in the 60-point range. That is something that I would like to see. It's a little less than a point a game, but he's starting to show that consistency. If you look over his numbers from the past couple of weeks, obviously they've been so much better than they were in the beginning of the year. So can Nico get to 60-ish points, which would be his highest ever total. And he had 50, low 50s his rookie year, then high 40s last year with the injury. So can he get close to 60 or above? That's a goal, I think.
I'll tell you what,
and
he's doing it without Taylor Hall. He's his own man right now. Yeah. I mean, he is just taking over.
We talked about this is like a completely different team ever since that trade. Like this is the team we expected coming into the season. If we can go back in time and redo those first couple months, whoo, man. Hey, Ray might still be the GM.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
it's amazing.
I think that's a good goal for him. Keep developing as this leader, keep playing hard. As you were saying, he doesn't have to be super vocal. He shows it when he's on the ice. He's a leader that way as well. But if he keeps producing at the pace he is now, like I said, for the rest of the season, that would be, around 30-ish points in about whatever it is, 32, 34 games. I have to look at the app and see however many are actually left. So it's a little less than a point per game. I think he can do that. And I think that's a really good goal for Nico Hischier. Blake Coleman is another guy I think we should talk about. Old Pickles is sitting at 19. Blake is not going to rack up the assists. He's a shooter. He's a shooter. He's got some touch, man. And I got, right here, I have the number 30 written down right next to him. I think that should be his goal for this season. In these last couple games, 11 goals. Last 30-some games, 11 goals. Keep pushing forward the way he's doing. Keep hustling. I mean, this guy on these, shorthanded breakaways, in the 5-on-5 play, we've talked about it at length, how he doesn't get any power play time. He's performed unbelievably. And if this is what we can come to expect from Blake Coleman, what a steal this kid has been.
Yeah, I got to tell you something, Scotty. A good friend of mine. You see, how come this always happens to people that don't follow hockey? A good friend of mine sat next to PK Subban from their trip from Florida back to Newark in first class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
How come that stuff never happens to me? Like one time, my parents they actually sat next to they're coming back from Orlando, Patrick Ewing, as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was like, how was he able to fit in his seat? Guy's 7 foot tall.
I don't think I ever flew with anyone famous.
Oh yeah, I had a friend. I have a friend that and again, we're not talking about politics here. Not once, but twice sat next to Nancy Pelosi on the plane.
Really?
That happened. Yeah, on the plane. He was on business. I don't know what she was doing. She was probably on official business, I'm assuming. And I was like, so did you fly coach? No.
I think we got to get you out of coach, Samu. I think that might be the problem right there.
You know what? There was only one time I flew first class. I was doing a European tour about 12, 13 years ago. And, the French, right? Leaving Charles de Gaulle Airport, summertime, it's always a holiday. Well, there was something wrong with the plane, and they had to fly in apart from Belgium, and everybody's on holiday. It took forever. It took about a day and a half. And by the time you kind of bully your way onto a flight, the seat didn't exist. And I had to walk out thinking I'd be stuck in France for another day. But there was that beautiful seat in first class that they gave it to me.
Wow,
after
look at you.
36-hour ordeal. Yeah. This is why we got to fly private jets.
Yeah.
Private. But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. Sorry, we're just off all over the place today.
Well, let's see. So, do you agree what I've said so far? Do you think anything I've said is completely out of line, out of whack, or shouldn't be or unreasonable expectations?
No.
60 points for Nico, 30 goals for Coleman. Blake has already got 19. Nico is Winston. Nico, sorry. My dog Winston. He doesn't like the Roomba, or whatever it is called.
Okay. It's
and
okay.
Keeps
we
charging.
are a friendly show podcast. For all those that are joining us, David Decker, whatever. I know all of you have animals. Why don't you just start submitting pictures of your animals with Devils jerseys while we have Winston barking?
I should, I should actually get. He does. Oh, now he's going for the bed. Winston, by the way, for everyone, he is a big old English bulldog who usually doesn't bark. Yeah. But I don't know. It does not like the vacuum, like most dogs. Vacuum is always like the number one enemy of every dog. So he figured out the damn Roomba is actually a vacuum. So now he hates that thing too. So whatever.
Yeah.
So Blake Coleman, 30 goals. He's at 19 now. Keeps up his hustle, keeps up his good play. Unless he goes on an unbelievably like cold streak where he just can't buy a goal kind of deal, where he's like hitting posts and stuff like that. But if he continues his play, I think 30 goals is a very reasonable estimate. The 60-point range we talked about for Nico. How about this for Nikita Gusev? Right now, Nikita Gusev is sitting with 20 assists. Like Nico, in the recent weeks, the Goose's production has increased tremendously, and he's starting to be that playmaker on the power play. You see him starting to just kind of circle around at times, holding on to the puck, and the other team's defense seem to be now kind of not attacking him as much because they know he'll make a move. So they're kind of backing off a bit. So I'm thinking with that play, maybe around the 40-ish assist range. I don't know. So that would be 20 more that he would have to get. He's sitting at 20 now, end the year with another, 20 assists. See how it goes. Do you think that's unreasonable with his power play?
I have to admit to you, I don't think it's unreasonable, but you know what I'm looking for?
What's that?
Not to blow up your spot. I mean, I think your goals and expectations are reasonable and attainable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not an analytics guy.
You're not an analytics guy?
No, not
well,
really.
Well, these aren't analytics. It's just goal count and assist over here.
I know, but I'm not a numbers guy.
Talking,
right I'll tell you what I want.
Corsi, blah blah blah. No. I'm talking about goals and assists over here.
I'll tell you how they're going to get it. I'm going to tell you how they're going to get it. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Blake Coleman. When he turns on the afterburners,
wow.
When he turns on the afterburners, he's a north-south guy, a hard-nosed guy. He's got to drive to the net more. He's got to drive to that net more and get in front of that.
More? I mean, he drives to the. I mean, you mean continue to do that?
Yes, but with a meanness streak, because I'm seeing a little bit of meanness.
He did have that one-handed gem where he was falling down, flipping the puck. I mean, he was. I think that's why he has scored so much. I feel like he gets 2 breakaway or semi breakaways at least a game. He's always, I feel like, right there, just on that blue line, ready to charge the other way. And man, I love Pickles.
Yeah, Nico, he's so damn consistent right now. The last 38 games of the season, I like to see that. I like to see that. And he's got a little bit of a competitive streak as well. Paul Mary, coming back from injury, I believe.
just want to see Palms get healthy. Just get healthy, bro. If you get to maybe 25 goals by the end of the year, that's a nice little mark as well. I'd like to see him at least. I think he'll definitely break 20, but that consistency again with Palmieri with at least 20 goals, every year he's on the team is wonderful. I know now he's been dinged up a little bit here and there. I think he's at like 16. So if you get around 25, man, I really like to see that. In these expectations as well, I should say, I mean, I've said it a bunch of times, in the past couple of weeks, that overall for my team, I would like to see the team get back to 500. That's where I would like to see them finish up on the season, is at 500. They're 7 games under now. That's a bunch to make up in, 30 or so games. But if they can do that, that means they'll be playing really well, and they'll be playing to the expectations that we kind of had for this team for where they should be at this point. Yes, obviously the beginning of the season did not go as planned, but if they finish the season real strong, that makes me even more excited for what's to come next year. So
Yeah.
500, 7 games. That's a lot to make up, though, man. 7 games is a lot to make up.
Yeah, I would be happy.
I'm also last 3-game losing streak. They went to sleep on a couple of those games. That's.
I don't want to see a 17-game losing debacle. I'm tired of losing.
Exactly. I want them to play winning hockey.
Yep. But what about trades? Hockey. What about trades that may come down? Who would you be?
Those are the other two things that I had written down here. One of them was next to Kyle Palmieri. Was get healthy, 25 goals. And then I have a big circled thing on my pad here that says, don't trade. I don't want to see Kyle Palmieri traded. And obviously, with the whole Ray situation, whatever it finally comes out to be or whatever, I mean, I think it comes down to like someone wanted to make some moves like trading Kyle Palmieri, and someone didn't want to make moves like trading Kyle Palmieri, whether that was Ray or whether it was ownership or whatever, who was on whatever side. We're not going to get into all that. But obviously, there is a disagreement about how the team should move forward. So I'm hoping that they stick with Palms, Jersey all the way, hard-nosed, gritty, has been great, consistent, like we're talking about. He gets at least 20 goals every year. I think we've done good with Kyle Palmieri. I don't want to see him traded. However, I am sure teams like the Boston Bruins and others are going to come knocking playoff time, and they may offer a lot. They may make an offer you can't refuse, Godfather style. You never know. He's going to be a very attractive player on the market. Same thing with Sammy Vatanen. He's the other one I had, written down here for the trade market. I mean, being that he's a UFA, I think you try to move him. I just think you have a lot of like these defensive, prospects that we may be seeing next year that are kind of similar players. I'm not knocking Sammy or anything like that. I think he's been playing better. He's had his moments of inconsistency, that's for sure. But he's definitely been playing better as the season has gone along. Again, the first half of the season was just a disaster, or that first like third of the season was just a disaster all around. So it's hard to give these guys, proper marks. That's why it's really important, how are they going to finish out this season? If they go another 7 games under and they finish 14 under 500, then, that doesn't look good. But if they get closer to 500, like we're talking about, that puts us in the position, of moving forward, of knowing that we do have a pretty good nucleus there with Nico, with Jack. If we keep Kyle Palmieri, what are we going to do with Damon Severson? Is he going to stick around, or are they going to try and move him? Ty Smith coming up. Let's see how Will Butcher, like to see him play a little bit better. I know defensemen kind of, they develop a little bit slower and everything like that, but want to see a little bit better play from, Will as well. And what's going to happen with Andy Green? That'll be a big question as well. Does Andy stick out the rest of the season with the Devils, or does he go in and say, hey, Fitzy, I'll waive my no movement if there's a contender, give him the list, the contenders that he may want to go to. Might want to go over to, if the Islanders need some defensive depth over there with Lou or something like that. You never know. We'll see what happens. But I'd like to see them keep Kyle, trade Sammy, trade Andy if he wants it.
Do you trust Fitzpatrick?
I got no choice now.
Fitzpatrick.
I thought
Jeez. Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I trusted Ray. I thought he was doing the right thing, but I don't know if that's what it really was. If Ray was trying to move all these guys again for more like younger players and stuff, I don't know. I feel like now we're getting closer. You know what? I still got to see the second half of the season, because we could totally go in the opposite direction. All that good play. Maybe we got ourselves a little bit good, and this last little third of the season is very important for the New Jersey Devils, the future of the team. It's definitely going to make a break. If they crash and burn hard, you're going to see a lot of these guys out the door. That's for sure.
Yeah, we shall see. This is why we play the games, Scotty.
Are they keeping Boquist down at the AHL? I didn't even say that.
Yeah, he's not been recalled. Schneider and McLeod. Remember when they were sent down before All Star? None of them have been recalled.
Really?
That's the latest I have. That they have not been called yet.
Very interesting. I would think they'd probably leave Corey down there.
Blackwood and Domingue. Right now?
A little shocked about Boquist. But I guess, can they do that tomorrow? Before the game?
I don't know.
I don't know the call-up rules and, all that sort of stuff. I would have to look up all that sort of thing. I wouldn't see why not. But we do play the Senators tomorrow, which is nice to have actual, non-all-star game, real hockey back on. That's going to be real exciting.
Yeah. I'm happy for that.
That didn't sound very enthusiastic, Sam Wu. I'm happy.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry, Scotty. I'm just playing with my board right now.
Oh boy.
Soundboard.
Oh boy.
Just having all sorts of problems tonight.
Playing with your board.
I can't even hear you.
You can't even hear me now. Oh,
I can hear you now. Sorry about that. Yeah. I am the worst podcast producer in the history of podcast producing. I like to play with buttons.
Can you look up
the
results of the 1932 Stanley Cup now while you're at it?
All right. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Who won in 1932? I bet you the Rangers didn't win it.
Oh, that's right.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
That is for sure.
Toronto Maple Leafs, I believe.
Hey, we got hey Melissa. Melissa's over there in the
No.
There we go.
I think it was the Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins, look at that. Hey Melissa, how's it going?
Oh crap, no, the Rangers did win it.
Really? That's the one random year I picked? Jeez.
Yeah.
Christmas. Oh man.
You had like 1 out of 100 and something chances.
Oh man. Hughes is not developing playing with Simmons and Woods or Zaka. I don't know about that. I've kind of liked what I've seen. Just some comments over there from the Facebook page. I gotta say I've kind of liked what I've seen from just the team in general the past couple weeks. But I think Jack Hughes, I think that's what he needs. He's a smaller player. He's going to get knocked around. He's only 18 years old. He needs some bigger guys out there to knock some bodies and, not have people lining him up left and right. So I think playing with Simmons is actually give him a little more confidence, giving him a little more freedom with the puck as well. And I've seen some good plays from him. I've seen him pick the puck too a lot. So, a couple back checks here and there. And I think hopefully, we'll get Wayne Simmons scoring again as well. Wayne hasn't put too many in the net, unfortunately. Not for lack of trying. He's still getting opportunities. He's had a couple off the post and just, some that are just like, man, how did that not go in? Just a couple of scrambles, some bad luck, but still, would like to see him start burying some of those as well. Again, let's see how they come out tomorrow. They're playing Ottawa, who is a team that is again, like the Devils kind of rebuilding and everything. So, let's see how they make out.
Extensive rebuild. I think the Devils are underachieving.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's a play on words.
It's angling, Sam. It's called angling. See, I did that.
Is that what they teach you at Sirius XM Liquid Metal?
That's right.
Scotty, you have to angle it a little bit more.
Are we British?
Oh, I don't know.
You got to angle it just a little more there, Samuel.
Yeah, you got to get the side-eyes types and records out. None of this digital stuff.
I had to fill a brandy glass full of brown M&Ms, or else Ozzy wouldn't go on stage. All right. We should stop doing English accents now. That's where
well, we do have a fan base out in the UK. We should go out to the UK. Well, yeah, we do. UK Devils fans.
Oh yeah.
Where are we
getting the budget for that?
What's that?
Where we get? You can't even fly me to New Jersey. Where are we getting the budget to go to England?
We're going by boat, Greta style.
Oh man,
you got a big boat.
Yeah, we gotta need a bigger boat. Oh man.
You know what? When we get big one day, we should have a cruise with our fans. a cruise.
Oh, yeah. Like Jericho does with the Rock and Rager, where he's got the wrestling on there as well. Yeah.
Or some of those comedians, some comedians, they have like a cruise.
We'll get like a roller hockey game on the cruise or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let's see what we got over here on the old Facebook page. How do you say? Is this Omar? How do you say that? How do you say your? I don't know how to say your name, bro. Yeah, they are protecting him. That's what I was talking about. Like giving Jack Hughes. He looked like he was worried he was going to get hit at some times out there, and that's because he's only an 18-year-old kid playing out there with a bunch of men. I was actually doing, I actually just started doing some boxing classes here in LA, but man, let me tell you, like a guy that's like 2 weight classes up for me, I saw some of the punches these dudes were throwing and they would knock me into the middle of next week, like it's huge. So having big monster guys out there like that, yeah, he needs a little protection. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's the new NHL. It's still a league where there's hitting involved. They're still checking. It is actually still legal. They can still hit each other. And Jack Hughes has gotten his clock cleaned, a couple times, on the boards and stuff like that. And if he's a little speedster coming around, we all remember what happened. I know it's a different era, but remember what happened to Paul Correa, skating with his head down, flying through until Scotty Stevens came down and said, oh, I don't think so, So having those bigger guys out there, I think, yeah, it is a little bit of protection, but also, Wayne Simmons is no chump. He can, like we said, he's been having some bad luck, and I'd like to see him improve on his goal total, but Wayne could also put the puck in the net. I don't think he's going to be breaking 30 goals or something like that, but, I thought for this year around like 15 to 20, and I think it'll help out Jack as well, because Wayne Simmons obviously can go to those tough points playing with. Now, listen, I know you're going to have some debate about Miles Wood and Pavel Zacha, and that's fine. We can debate on that one. But Wayne Simmons, I think, has been a very good. And actually, Wayne, once Miles Wood started playing with him, you saw Miles Wood, play improve as well. So I think Wayne he's a good team guy, and sometimes also when you're a young kid in a situation like that, which can be, even though he's a hockey player, I'm sure that's got to be intimidating as hell to go out there into the greatest league for hockey in the world, as an 18-year-old kid. And sometimes just having a dude to be like, it's all right, guy, I got you, like just having that person, can be something incredible. Uh-oh. Getting a Flash player update out of nowhere anyway. But, we could debate about that, but I think it goes a long way for what Jack Hughes is what you're starting to see from him. Much like Nikita Gusev learning how to play with two players like Travis Zajac and Blake Coleman. You see them in those hard-nosed area, and you see Gusev kind of like just hovering around, waiting, and then all of a sudden once he gets the puck, he's just moving all over the place, waiting for them to cause a little havoc, and then he can either throw it on net or he can try to pass it over for a nice deflection. You're starting to see that come alive in the Devils, and obviously we want that to continue here this last third of the season post All Star break.
So when are you coming out, Scotty? When are you coming out?
So it looks like I'm going to be out on the East Coast the President's Day weekend when the New Jersey Hockey Devils just happen to have a game on a Sunday at the Prudential Center. What are the chances of that? What are the chances of that, Sam Wu? Can you believe it?
You know what? What are the chances that we're going to have a pregame podcast at PJ Ryan's at 35 minutes and place across the street from Prudential Center?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Sam Wu?
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. What are the odds of all these things lining up?
Yeah. And also,
I can't believe it.
We have to invite Rebecca Morse, NWHL All Star, to our event, which is why I'm wearing this Dunkin' Donuts hat. We're not endorsed by Dunkin' Donuts. It's because they
just love good coffee.
NWHL. That's what they do.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I appreciate their support. And I figured if all the players are wearing, Dunkin' hats, but this is the old school Dunkin' Donuts hat.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well too. I support women's hockey, and so should you. Yeah. All right, so David Decker will be there at PJ Ryan's.
He better be.
2000. So this upcoming weekend, 2000 reunion, February 1st, Saturday night. Dallas.
Oh man, we didn't even talk about all that. Yeah.
I gotta call up Grant Marshall up. I gotta talk to him. We should invite him out this Saturday. I know he was on the losing end of that 2000, but
that's true. Actually, yeah.
And I'm sure it hurts. I mean, it's gotta hurt, but I think winning in 2003 made the pain a little bit better. But honestly, he could have had 3 Stanley Cup rings.
Who did we trade?
That's amazing.
Who did we trade for Langenbrunner? It was Langenbrunner and Neuendijk, right?
Yes, we traded Randy McKay and Jason.
Oh, that's right.
Wow. Broke up the A line, and we were all like, "What are you doing?" And Lou's like, "That's right. Got to learn how to play differently."
That's right. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, this should be really exciting. And also 2000 team, reunion, man, what a great team that was. Mm-hmm. The A-line, Jason Arnott, Cup clincher, Patrick Eliash. Oh man, that was when they were down 2 to Philadelphia, 3-1, and the Larry Robinson tirade where he was kicking the garbage can.
Oh yeah,
not like those Houston Astros, not kicking the can like the Houston Astros. Just want to clarify. That there, okay? But
you know what? Maybe if sorry, I was about to say if Corey Schneider ever gets called up, I should warn him that a shot's coming.
A shot's coming.
Yeah, it's like bang bang, top shelf.
Oh God.
Yeah, I deserve
That's
that. I made myself
too-
off.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's too good.
5-hole,
too good.
bang!
Bang. Maybe we should get the NJ Devil with that big, tom
the
thing that
big
he has
drum.
and he bangs. Yeah. Just start signaling.
Yeah.
Glove safe. Bum, bum.
And
man.
this would be, it's in the back of the net. It's in the back.
Oh man. Corey's gonna punch us in the face when he sees us.
Oh, I know. And he's the
man.
nicest guy too. And I feel
He's
bad.
still gonna punch us in the face. He's like, I hate you guys. I hate you guys. But the 2000 team, though, I mean, what a great team. Stacked offense, defense, A-line. Mogilny with was Gomez on? Yeah, Gomez was on that team.
Yeah,
too, right?
His rookie year.
Yeah,
that
was his rookie year with Mogilny.
Yep.
What a 1-2 line, punch combo that was right there with the A-line starting things off. You got Eliash, who was 40 goals. I think Sikora was close. I don't think he hit 40. I think he was like 38, 39. And then Arnott had in the high 20s. And then you got Mogilny, who had like 45 goals. And, Scott Gomez, Sergei Breland.
I think that was maybe 01. I think that was 01 you were referring to.
Or was that 01? I think that's the 01 team. That's the 01 team that lost to Colorado.
I thought the 01 team was the best team out of all the teams.
Ever.
Yeah.
The Devils ever had.
I think the Devils got hosed by the whole Ray Bourque wanting to win storyline and that Gomez goal that got called back, saying that that was a distinct kicking motion or whatever.
We got hosed.
Yeah,
we got hosed. That was though. I do agree with you. That was like the best team the Devils ever had that year.
Yeah. Devils. By the way, I was at a charity. I know I was in enemy territory. I was in Lehigh Valley Winter Classic. A lot of Flyers centric people over there, but I went there because it was raising money for kids with special needs. And ice hockey, and I saw Bill Clement. I said hello to Kerry Fraser. There's a new sports reporter, Taryn Hatcher. She was great. I believe she's from Delran, New Jersey. I should send you the photo. And Todd Fedoruk was there as well.
Oh, good
guy.
Todd's a good guy.
And it was raining. It was pouring. And it was not as many people as expected, but I got a text message from Bill Clement, and he said that they think they've raised a brand new record of over $60,000. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it. So that is a life lesson that less is more. Not as many people showed up, but you know what? People were donating. I was donating. And and of course it helps when they had their credit card machines out. And I was like, swipe, 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 swipe. I bought some chocolate chip cookies, all that kind of stuff. But what I did, they were so organized that I was thinking, wow, we should really start doing these for our live events. I'm trying to... we should start selling cookies. Yeah. Start selling cookies, baked goods, Taylor ham, but we'll have to have our Let's Go Devils listeners sign a waiver form. I don't really cook, but.
Would it be Taylor ham versus pork roll?
We could have that. But you know what? Beer Baron had a new season resolution in the beginning of the season. He wanted us to stop it. I brought it up on the season 3, episode 1, and I brought it up, and he's like, "Can we stop talking about that? This and that?" And I'm like, "Didn't you get the memo? Shorts guy made all these Taylor ham T-shirts, and I'm trying to promo it, and you're telling me to shut up about it." That's our Beer Baron. security guard, comedian, teacher, father,
Radio professional.
hockey coach. David Decker. Look, David Decker.
Work roll.
I'll tell you what. I'm just going to ignore what you're saying in the Facebook Live, but I will send anybody that wants a Toyota and buy a Toyota to you because you're the man. All right.
Ooh.
So, who played 6D man on 2001 team? Quick trivia. Eric Selden. I don't know. Ken Sutton. Remember that guy?
2001
that we acquired him like 5 times?
Ken Sutton, 2001 team. Man.
Yeah. Remember Bob Corkum?
Was it Colin? Was it Colin?
No,
Colin
Bob
White?
Corkum.
I remember
Colin
Bob
White
Corkum.
Yeah.
Was that Colin White's first year?
Yep.
2001? I can remember.
There were 4 rookies. John Madden, Rafalski,
Right.
Colin White, and Scott Gomez. Yeah. 4 rookies in the playoffs.
So with Colin. So Eric, come on. Was it Colin? Oh, Ken Sutton was correct.
Is
correct.
All right. That's right.
Wow.
Because I only know anything about the Devils past 2000. Remember that.
Okay.
Well, I think I remember on the Jumbotron at the Meadowlands. I remember something. There was a one of these fun facts about Ken Sutton that the Devils acquired him at least like 4 or 5 times, the most of any player in Devils history
of any team.
Yeah, Sean O'Donnell.
I remember when O'Donnell was there too. Man.
Yeah. If anybody remembers this,
all these defensemen.
If anybody remembers this, back in the day, I long-term leased a number 6 golf flag. I basically stole it from a golf course. It had number 6 on it for whatever reason back in college. And then when we acquired Sean O'Donnell, we wore number 6. So I'd hold the golf flag up in the parking lot. Sean O'Donnell! It was like the small number 6 flag. If anybody in who was the backup? Van Beesbrook in 2001? Was Beezer the backup?
Beezer or Terreri? I think it was either Beezer or Terreri, right?
It had to have been Beezer.
I don't remember when he came in.
Where was Terreri? Was he back at the Sharks?
Terreri might have been the goalie coach, or maybe he was out at the Sharks. I don't know. When did he become the goalie coach? He was there for a while.
When Corey Schwab got there in 02-03. But
I love Corey Schwab.
Eric Selden, you gotta respond back.
If anyone's out there, go ahead and Google the Corey Schwab. I think it was Tommy Salo fight.
Devils. Soderstrom.
Soderstrom. I was at that game. And I'll never forget it. Like goalie chugging down the ice, Corey Schwab. It was like, I don't know, it was like 18, 19, 20 unanswered shots to the head. Like he annihilated him. And I remember going home and like recording the highlights on NHL Tonight. I record, and they had the whole fight, and they had like the boxing, like doing, like, man, I was at that game. It was such a crazy Kasperitis, and I think it was Kasperitis and Bill Guerin originally got into a scuffle behind the net, and that's when Ty came around and got sort of involved. It's not like he was doing that much, but as soon as he came around, man, Corey Schwab just started chucking down the ice. I'll never forget that. And I sat, I used to sit behind the goal too. That way, and that time, I think it was the second period, so they were coming. He was coming towards us. Oh man, awesome!
Wow. Hey, it's getting late.
Oh yeah, we should wrap up here.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who's been on the Facebook page. By the way, Eric doing some trivia, Raymond, David Decker. It's pork roll. Joe. Melissa, big love out to Melissa. Omar, Matt, Raymond, Melissa. Wait a minute. Stacy, Cheryl. Thank you guys so much for always being out there and tuning in. We really do appreciate it.
I'm supposed
Do
to
we have
cue
our
up the
music?
right? Yeah,
Where's the music, Sam Wu?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I'm
I am
waiting
the
for the
worst
music.
producer.
No. Never sell yourself short, kid.
Uh-oh.
Come on, I gotta go to Trader Joe's. Let's go. It's LA. It's only 7:00 out here.
What are you getting at Trader Joe's?
Food. What else?
I was hoping you would say Taylor ham.
They don't have that out here. No pork roll or Taylor ham in California. They do like a Canadian bacon thing. It's not the same. It's not the same.
All right. Well, thank you, Omar. He says you are the best. Anyway, big week.
Well,
We may be there
big week
Saturday
coming
at
up.
TJ Ryan's.
Yes.
Till next time.
Live.
Next time you'll see me on this Let's Get All podcast, I'll be wearing a ring. 2000.
Woo!
Till next time. Let's go Devils!
Devils!